32 go through.
99.
£7,750 in his European money ranking this year. Best performance
108.
as he taps in a 180. Round 3 in Leverkusen, where he came into the field as a reserve as well, so certainly made the most of his good fortune on that occasion.
171.
How about that for a set-up shot? How about that for a pair of set-up shots? All of a sudden, Kevin Doets was in a bit of bother, but he hits back with a 14-dart break of his own.
'81.
Just a few more of those darts creeping in for Francois.
$140. 161.
Just feel as though the crowd haven't really got wrapped up in this one yet. As we talked about it earlier about how the crowd would respond tonight, bigger numbers inside, whether that would have any impact.
48. Francois required 24.
Well, yet another break. That's all we're getting. 3-2. Doets trails again. He has not managed to get in front in this game at any point. Oh, proper darts, Kevin Doets.
62.
Beautiful. Just a little reminder for Schweyen that still got bags of work to do in this one.
43. '57.
Well, all very much in stark contrast to the previous visit, but he's still down to a 2-dart combination from here. Another 14-darter in the offing as well, maybe.
85.
There's a few darts in the 5 and the 1 from Francois, but he's picking up big trebles on a regular basis, and that one could be worth an awful lot. 7-7 for Kevin Doets. Had to ask. No question needed there, though. Absolutely fine, making sure he didn't bust the score there.
Francois required 20.
So to take us all the way. 5 for a last leg decider. 2 5s. Does not give us 5-5, and Kevin Doets can wrap this up.
Well, it's a sort of match that perhaps warrants a final leg, but it might not come to pass. Bullseye.
96. Francois required 10.
Second opportunity on 5-5 here for Schweyen. And he still can't find a way through. He's only got 1 dart remaining, and all 3 are outside the board. And that surely now should be that.
He has missed his last 8 darts at double, Francois Schweyen. 2 of them cost him legs. Those last few might as well. 4-4. And it has cost him the match because Kevin Doets squeaks through, and Schweyen is inconsolable. He was so close to a maiden win on the European Tour. He led for most of the game. He had chances to close it out. He never could. And Kevin Doets benefits to set up a second-round meeting with Chris Dolan.
Of course, there was the inevitable why didn't we go to, or why didn't the PDC go to, but you know, it takes a lot of
96.
Takes a lot of organising to suddenly just spring a new. I think, I mean, overall, you look at the countries that we have gone to over the past few years, the new additions: Hungary, Czech Republic,
137.
Switzerland now as well.
Takes time, and the 2025 schedule would have been sorted 6 months ago. They'll be trying to sort out 2026 now. As for this one,
18.
95.
Well, Johnny was looking to leave 11 in the previous leg, and he couldn't. If he had, he might be 2-1 up. As it turns out, he's 2-1 down, but at least we're back on throw now. You win a leg, how do you respond to winning the leg? You lose a leg, how do you respond to that mini defeat? And then if you lose a match, how do you respond in the next game you play? And you've got to be someone who can handle the swings.
100
Either you go on tilt as a dart player, or you find the right attitude to move forward. How does Dirk move forward? That's a great first start. But the second one, it was not to his pleasing. That's an interesting lead.
Yeah, pupils were fixed and dilated after that second dart. As it is, Clayton now looking at double 16 to get back on terms at 2 apiece. Missed dart at double 16 for Clayton. The tide may well turn once again here. 15 for double 8. Nicely played, back in the saddle straight away. Excellent response by Van Duijvenbode. That's what he needed to do.
Looks like it. That's more like it.
Well, a 14 dart break in the previous leg, and he's backed it up very nicely with back-to-back 180s in this one. Johnny Clayton working hard just to try and stay in touch, but, well, dare we dream once again. Dirk Van Duijvenbode, 141 points away, Paul.
138 away. I think Jerry Hendricks in the crowd was going to be feeling like a fish again if he'd hit that one.
Maybe just caught in 3 or 4 minds there, Dirk Van Duijvenbode.
Remember the days when you leave 141 after 6 and your automatic 7th target is the treble 20? Well, today we've seen treble 17 gone 4 on dart 7, treble 16, and none of them have been close.
That wasn't close either.
40.
Not a cause for concern or alarm just yet.
I think it might be for JC, because this game is getting away from him. He's averaging 90.5, and the 4.5 extra points that Dirk has, that may be widening. That might be the first big-time darts experience for that person in about 20 years. He might be playing on the stage against someone like Dirk.
Yeah. No doubt inspired to do so by stuff like this as well. All the generations here inside the Expo this evening, and they're witnessing a very good match between these two as well. But it's a match that is certainly going the way of Dirk Van Duijvenbode right now. He's got a significant gap in this one as well. Single 16 leaves 68. That leaves
52.
Yeah, playing it safe, didn't need to be too aggressive. It left 50, but it didn't need to go for the bullseye. Just for a split second, I thought he might have done that. I don't know.
We are starting to see more players do that. They're going for 2 big singles instead of being greedy, and I think it's brilliant. It's just really smart, backing themselves to do that more than going treble and double in the previous visit. Saw some of the faces of the audience, and darts people tend to pull this face when someone's playing this well. They just twist away and say, ooh, this is rather good, isn't it? And we don't think Johnny Clayton's going to get another dart at a double.
423.
Took a chance with that because I thought that second dart was a bit loose, but Van Duijvenbode stepping in now, looking at double 16. 2 darts for the match and a place in the second round, and a passage into an encounter tomorrow with the number 4 seed Damon Heta. And on the evidence of that, I would say that the Aussie might just have 1 or 2 things to think about when he goes to bed tonight, because that was more like it from Dirk Van Duijvenbode. 8 matches, or 8 tournaments out of 9 so far this year on the European Tour. He's failed to win a single match, but that was a lot more like it from Dirk Van Duijvenbode, and that was a very impressive 6-2 win against Johnny Clayton.
Of the two, Veenstra is the most experienced, but they have, on the whole, been doing things differently. Mike, a development to a product, chose to go the PDC route, whereas Richard was more of a BDO stalwart until the last couple of years, as we see Jerry once again. Speaking of fish, all you need is bull.
Mike De Decker reels it in his home country. There was no question he was going to go for it, was there?
Tried to succeed in front of their home audiences and struggled because they wanted it too much. He obviously wants to perform here, but in order to get a better feeling than just being here, and that's winning here, he must massage his inner focus, which he's doing very, very well so far. Yeah, I mean, somebody like, let's say, for example, Kim Huybrecht. So we know his game is about stamping and shouting and screaming and all this sort of stuff. Just do it more. That's what comes natural. That's not in De Dekker's game. So where's that outlet for all that nervous energy, if you like? Well, he seems to have found a way of channeling it here, because this is for 3-1. And a deserved 3-1 lead as well, Mike De Dekker.
So your estimate, Dan, if it is to be De Dekker in the next round against Ross Smith, how many 180s can you get?
A million 180s in that game.
They've got to win by 2 clear legs.
I mean, I'd like them
64.
to. But let's see, because he's not there yet.
Darts like that won't help. It's a decent recovery. At least it gets him into that range where he can hit treble, single and something to finish the leg. However, he's not going to get a chance at that. Veenstra keeps this place silent.
That's enough to get to a 1 treble combo, and this is a big ask for Veenstra. Too big in the end, and Mike De Dekker to win on home soil on the Euro Tour.
Shots like this, if they're hit, it's not down to us to tell you how they feel and how the audience feels. Let's see how they feel.
And the match, Mike De Dekker.
No words needed. Mike De Dekker books his place in round 2 here in Antwerp.
Exception being Leverkusen, where he beat Luke Humphries in the second round before a 6-1 defeat by Jan van Veen. And if he does win this tournament, Dan, he may well be looking back on that 9-dart leg where it all began in round 1 against Mike Kuivenhoven.
An icon of the sport. A man who has hit 9 darters at the World Championship twice. How about one on the Euro Tour? No, not right now, as it happens.
87.
Yeah, and I just mentioned that defeat by Van Veen in Leverkusen. Van Veen also beating Barney on 2 occasions in 2 of those 5 first-round defeats that he's suffered this year as well. So I think as long as he stays clear of Jan van Veen, he could be okay. 54, tops here for an 11-darter for Barney. 12 darts will do. Kuivenhoven is miles away anyway. And Barney is off to a flyer. That sequence actually began with a defeat by Barney in Milton Keynes in Players' Championship 13 at the very start of July.
60, Raymond Duijvenbode 131.
Oh, it's another beauty.
Treble 13 for double 16, but it's just the single. But again, Kuivenhoven is adrift because Barney was out of the blocks, very sharpish in this one as well.
Raymond Duijvenbode 40.
Nice shot that from Mike Kuivenhoven, probably worth nothing. And he's worth nothing. That's a 13-darter. Raymond van Barneveld continues to plough ahead in this game. This one's a good one. Raymond van Barneveld has made as many quarterfinals on the Euro Tour in the first 4 events of it, starting back in 2012, as he has in the subsequent 12 years.
140.
That's a good one. Yeah, take my hustle for that one. Nice.
You're welcome. It's yours. Use it. Impress friends and family.
The next gathering I go to. Sit everyone down.
Listen now, Barney, you heard of him. Now then, it's not just Raymond who can hit 180s. But if he hits a little fish, it's 4-0. It's good. It's good. Bullseye.
Oh, everything just coming together. Mike Kuivenhoven, that is the closest he's got to even thinking about throwing for a double.
He has had so few bad darts, not even bad visits, Raymond van Barneveld.
Yeah, just hovering above the 110 mark at the moment as well. Kuivenhoven may well end this match without throwing a dart at a double, and that will be some accolade that he won't want to go home with. Tops here for Barney for the match. 1 dart in hand.
36.
And the weight will carry on for a little while yet.
98.
Now then, Mike, is this your opportunity?
Mike, treble 19 for the double. The comeback is on!
60.
And it's off.
Raymond, you require
So Raymond van
20.
Barneveld, whose average was over 110 for the vast majority of this game, to win it 6-0.
No score.
Well, that average has taken a right hammering now from Barney. I've got to say it's down to a mere 104 after that one. Mike Kuivenhoven, 0 from 1 on darts at a double. That's 0 from 2. That's further away.
19.
And that just about sums up his evening.
Raymond, you require 20.
Real narrowing of the eyes from Raymond van Barneveld to get it done finally. He has not missed a dart at double all game pretty much until right at the end, when his average has come tumbling down by about 10 points, and it's gone from being one of the greatest displays we've ever seen from Barney on the Euro Tour to a game where we're not even sure when it's going to end.
Well, that's 7 missed darts at a double now for Barney, astonishingly. 5 from 6 becomes 5 from 13. Not much better from Mike Kuivenhoven either, because he's now 0 from 6. Make that 0 from 7.
Raymond, you require
Goodness me.
20.
Anybody?
Double 5, Raymond van Barneveld. And eventually, Barney wins it. It is an unbelievable display for 5 3/4 legs. And then he stumbled over the line. But Barney still sets up another all-Dutch encounter with the Dutch number 2, Danny Noppert, in round 2 tomorrow.
Everything points to a Menzies win, because his only 2 wins against James Wade have been this season. They've only met twice this year. So Cameron's got to feel good about his form and the likelihood of getting the win here. But if he's underprepared and he hasn't got himself sharp enough for today, he might trip up against somebody who might find a route to securing his Grand Prix spot the same way that he got himself into the match play. And when he got into that, he was very competitive, making the semi-finals his best run of any tournament this year.
Well, trends are precisely that. They are not eternal.
20.
But you have to say, this one is going very much the way of the form book, because Cameron Menzies has won the opening leg in 13 darts. Mentioned all those averages that he's produced over the last 200 legs. Well, over the last 201 legs, those numbers have just got a little bit better, because he's averaged 116 there.
He's in real trouble of not making the World Grand Prix, albeit with a few events to go. But the caveat to that is what happened in those Players' Championships that he talked about. He found a way when it was important.
Yeah, often he had to dig deep, and double 12 is just off target for what would have been another show-stopping moment. Treble 19 for double 12. Get one on the scoreboard. Excellent response from James Wade. That is exactly what he's all about.
He is. He's playing well. High 90 stuff. But the thing that's impressing me the most in what is one of the marquee fixtures of the day, it's the calmness so far from Menzies. And he might need that against someone like James.
Yeah, just having a look here. 101 away. Menzies not on a finish.
41.
Well, the only bright side of that single one is that he can leave either tops or tens with his next shot.
65. James require 80.
Gorgeous first dart. 2 more bites at double 10. Well, I was surprised he didn't take it out with the first, but as sure as night follows day, he takes it out with the second, and it's a level game once again, and once more it's a 15-darter from James Wade.
180.
Timing of that max Absolute Swiss quartz, but is it good enough? Bullseye. Oh, he's closer this time.
145.
That was so close.
61.
Well, that would have been some moment, as it is. James Wade is now looking at tops. And he's nudged the wire with that one. He can't quite believe it's not found its way through to the target. But Menzies, having almost produced the 170, now looking at a more orthodox 25. Double 4. Oh, and he's bust his score as well. Going the wrong side into double 13. And James Wade, tops and tens combination, only needs the tops. Gets away with it, 4 apiece.
Championship coming up, and this will feel extremely familiar in 2024. He is 2 darts away from getting his way into a little bit more security, and with more opportunities coming.
Tops then for Wade. It would be so fitting if he finished it on 10s,
36.
but not on this occasion.
You require 105.
Last chance saloon here for Cam Menzies. 45 away, 13 for double 16. 1 dart saloon here,
89.
and that could well be that for Cameron Menzies.
20.
The form horse may well fall at the final hurdle here. James Wade once again looking at double 10, and once again he's right in the top corner of the bed. And James Wade does indeed exact those revenges for those defeats earlier this season at the hands of Cameron Menzies, the PDC's most informed player. Falls at the first hurdle here at the Flanders Darts Trophy. Cracking match, brilliant scoring as well. Menzies averaging just under 100, all in vain. Wade with 96.38, very impressive on the finishing as well. 6 from 10. Food for thought for Dave Chisnell, the number 2 seed when they meet.
Record, look, he's tailed off actually in the last sort of couple of years in the World Series, but his record in the World Series is unbelievable. Won a couple of them, beaten finalists. He was in finals more often than he wasn't in his first sort of 2 or 3 years in those World Series events. Back in the winner's circle by taking the UK Open title earlier this year as well. Oh, what a dart that is. He has to come away with some 40 minutes. He does. And if he is allowed back to the board, I don't think he'll be going the 16s route. He might not get a look at it, of course.
We're about to find out. Just about on the ball. Well, it doesn't get a thumbs up, but it should. That's a wonderful shot from Goldfinger.
You're on. Collectibles soon to come out. Don't know when. Literally, I've got no information about that. I don't even know. I'm not even sure there'll be stickers. They might be cards.
We shall see.
We shall see. And Dimitri van den Bergh is coming under increasing pressure here because Gilding, this for a 3-1 lead in the first break of throw in this one. Double 19. Oh, this is good from Gilding. 11 darter, break of throw.
The trends tell us that Andrew has improved by quite some distance on his seasonal form. Dimitri has regressed somewhat. There hasn't been enough of this. And that is symptomatic of how this game has gone for him.
Look, he was playing all right at the start of the match. He's just been beaten into submission because Gilding has got better. And Dimitri hasn't had an answer. He's going to stay there, isn't he?
Oh, is he feeling flashy? To win it! Oh, Andrew Gilding!
Look at him rub a bit of salt into the wound.
You know what, Dan? Whenever you spill the water, it's never a good sign. Remember when Michael van Gerwen did it in Australia? He lost to Barneveld after that. The water has fallen, and the Dreammaker may be falling too.
Goldfinger. Double 12. For a convincing win over the home favourite.
He has missed a third match start. Is there an unlikely way back into this contest for the Belgian number 1?
Somebody give him a stick to break the glass because he needs an emergency bullseye. He's pressed the red button. The game is still alive.
Oh, another in there. Oh, it's just the wrong side of the wire.
How many bullseyes has Dimitri got in his locker to try and keep this match alive? He might need 2 in a row. Great marker for another. 5s. Another chance for Gilding to bring the guillotine down on the #1 Belgian.
Well, Dimitri, you have the time it takes for Andrew Gilding to revolve. Your time at the Flanders Darts Trophy might be over.
And it is over. Andrew Gilding turns to offer his hand because the Belgian #1 is bested on home soil. 101.4 average. It's Gilding's first ton-plus set of numbers on the Euro Tour for more than a year. And it has broken Dimmy's heart and that of a lot of the Belgian fans. It is only De Decker who has progressed here in Antwerp. But Gilding goes through to face Ricardo Pietrezco in round 2.
Obviously, Bergh won pretty much everything. Could have won even more. He's done it in the era of some of the greatest players that have ever thrown a dart, because he's one of them.
130. 60. He required 131.
Double 13.
91.
Perfectly happy with that, given the situation.
He required 40.
Yeah, Dolan's never really got involved in this leg, I have to say, and Peter Wright, question marks about his finishing in the previous leg, could so easily have been 2-0 up here, but no real major dramas as he takes out that double 20 for a 2-1 lead. From his wife as well.
You've got to stay on the 20. We don't have to stay on the 20s, but it would be wise, Peter.
60.
Because at least that gets down to a finish that does not require the bullseye. Brendan might get a go at the bullseye. Go to 18.
36. PD require 160.
Well, more than half a chance for a break of throw here if he can stay straight and true on this 20s bed now as well. Gets the second dart, bang on target. Tops he wants for a 3-1 lead and this all-important break. Peter Wright, champion performance last weekend and a champion check out there as well to open up a 2-leg cushion. I'm not saying he will.
Saying he will now?
Not yet.
Right not to.
100. Brendan, you require 141.
He's left that 56 that he made a mess of in the previous leg. Brendan leaves the 141 that he didn't get close to in the previous leg, and he's not going to get close to it here either.
Yeah, Peter Wright may just feel he wants to put things right with this 56. Swift chance to do so as well. 25 scored there for Dolan. Horror visit from him. Now then, Peter. 2 darts at tops. That's more like it.
Peter Wright.
Just a shame from his perspective that he couldn't do that in the previous leg. He might have to. Oh, that was bang on the red button as well. You can see that. That's left a massive impression.
77.
That's a little bit unfortunate from Brendan Dolan, and it will really hurt now if Peter Wright were to take out 160 for a second time in this match. Took it out in leg 4. Can he take it out in leg 8? There's your answer.
Well, the finishing has smartened up a little bit in recent legs. Look at this. I mean, there's no wire there, is there? It's a hard spot. And it's Brendan Dolan starting to put Peter Wright in a much harder spot than he's been in for the majority of this match.
I think it would. Treble 18. Let's see if this happens. Well, we'll never know. But Brendan Dolan will have the opportunity
50.
to win it in style. Might De Decker produce the big fish earlier? Can Dolan do likewise to wrap up victory in this one? No.
130.
A heck of a second prize, though, isn't it? 36 left for the match, unless Peter Wright takes out a fiddly 74. Not that fiddly now, double 16.
Just double checking, it was very close to the wire on both sides, actually. Just finding a way into the corner, and he finds a way into the double 16 bed as well. And we do go into a deciding leg, and there we see the camera zoom in on George Noble, who just loves a 6-5 special. Yeah, he's had these injections of pace, and then suddenly he's been totally sidetracked by some ropey finishing.
Peter Wright could wrap this up with 2 legs and 25 darts here, which is world-class stuff.
100. You require 98.
Well, let's see if he does. 98 away from a place in round 2 and a meeting with Martin Schindler. Gets the 54 to leave the 24. Double 12 takes a moment. Peter Wright, first match start in hand, and that is all he needs. For all his troubles that he's had over the course of this one, for all the labouring that he had to do, for all the missed opportunities, no problem whatsoever for Peter Wright in the final reckoning. He finishes things off with double 12 for a 12-dart finale. And Peter Wright, the champion in Hildesheim last weekend, sets the ball rolling in Belgium this weekend with a 6-5 win against Brendan Dolan. Well, when I arrived in Antwerp last night, you were chatting with Cullen at the hotel. He looked fairly relaxed. We know he's a player who, you never left in any doubt about his emotions when he's on stage, when things maybe start to go awry. But he looked relaxed enough last night, I think.
Very much so. I think when he's hanging out with Luke Woodhouse, as they do a great deal of time on the tour, they're good for each other. Motivational, but relaxed at the same time. A bit like Joe Cullen and Johnny Clayton. And I'm sure Joe doesn't want to go the same way as Johnny, because he lost earlier. Tops for Cullen. Doesn't get much better than that. That was right in the middle. The only way he wants to be celebrating the end of tonight is that he's eliminated one of the Newcastle fans from this tournament.
Yeah, Chris Dobie joins the party tomorrow as well. He is seeded this weekend. 161 for Rydz, plays 170 for Cullen. Could be a big finish either way, won't be from Rydz.
We referenced earlier that
that's lovely.
Joe has had a match on the European Tour this year where he's had 2 of these in the same game. Ideal approaches from both. Kudos for that. It's a high 80s average game. And it may have just changed a little bit with that break of throw for Cullen. In European Tour events has been in doubt over the course of this season, but he has played them all still. In fact, the last time he missed one was the European Darts Open in Dusseldorf in 2016. It's incredible, that run. He wants to keep that run going. Bullseye. So close, and that's the target for Cullen at the start of this visit.
Gets it as well. Can't find the treble 9 scene. It was a good marker as well, wasn't it? So the bullseye had he found his way. But Joe Cullen looking to win back-to-back legs. Double 8. That'll do nicely. Come on is the cry from Joe Cullen. Do you know what, that 2-leg salvo though for Cullen, I think that could really count for something. 5 perfect darts in this leg, by the way, before this particular visit. Okay, he's trimmed off 80 there. He'll be disappointed that he's not down below a ton, but I think he's in a very good position for a breaker throw. And all of a sudden, Callan Rydz. Talked about the reaction, didn't we? Just beginning to feel the heat a little bit in this one now. 81 for Cullen here, treble 19 for double 12 for a 5-3 lead, and that is a killer, an absolute killer for Callan Rydz. Cullen steps on the accelerator, and all of a sudden it's a long way back for Callan Rydz, and you can just see the frustration etched all over his face. Just 58 in response, and Cullen may well be able to seize all over this. He may well be just able to pounce all over this.
And before that 140, what Joe did was really smart. Pressure moment, sharp, slow intake of breath, slow exhale,
60.
then execute.
Junior 56.
Now he's only got one more thing to execute.
Well, he's missed one match start at double 18. He's missed another one, but he doesn't miss that one.
And the match.
And Joe Cullen secures his place in the second round at the expense of Callan Rydz. First round disappointment once again for the Riots. But for Joe Cullen, well, a recent finalist on the Pro Tour, the winner on the European Tour on 3 previous occasions, it may well be another opportunity for Cullen to get the job done this weekend.